I have not done one of these in a hot minute. I think the last time I did one was when I was living at my old house. So I'm running out of ideas to make for videos. So I was like, okay, well, I just made this. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but I made rigatoni and sauce for lunch today. What was that? Something just made a weird noise. It has been so boring lately. Just boring. My kids go to school. One of them goes back to school in 15 days. The other one goes back, I think, in 20 to 21 days. They go to 2 different schools. It has been a long summer break. It has been boring. It has been really hot in the state of Michigan. Right now in Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, they have been getting slammed for weeks now with rain, derechos, however you say it, straight line winds, tornadoes, hail. And the systems, like here's the state of Michigan. Down here is, Indiana, Ohio, and Illinois. It continues to keep going, like a system will start moving towards Michigan and then it drops and goes straight for all these states, and it continues to just like keep happening. And it's literally like they're watching it do an L shape. They don't know what is happening. They don't know why this is happening. Michigan is in a drought right now. We basically have not had rain, proper rain. I'm gonna say probably since the end of winter is when we started to kind of go through a drought phase. We've had like no thunderstorms this year. We've had, the severe weather thing is good. I mean, nobody wants severe weather, so nobody wants power outages and all that stuff, but it's just, the rain aspect of it is just kind of lame. Like, we haven't really gotten any. And due to this, the bugs this year in the state of Michigan have been thriving. We have a huge problem with flies in the state of Michigan right now. Everybody's complaining about it. You go to a restaurant and there's flies. You go to, your house, there's flies. You go to work, they're everywhere. I noticed that I've also been having a problem with June bugs. They've been really, really bad in my front and my side yard. My table just moved. It's been really like a crappy summer. It hasn't been a very nice summer. It's been very unkind. Very, very humid. We've been getting a lot of humidity, and it's not like the fun kind of humidity. It's like suppressive humidity, and it's causing people to have like headaches, and like it's making people sick because it's every single day it's the same weather. And we literally have not changed temperature wise between the temperatures of 80 to 84. That's the range, and it stays like that. The temperature never changes for weeks. And it's been sunny. And they keep saying, okay, well, we're going to get some rain today. It never happens. Michigan never gets any rain. It stays cloudy. It'll look like it's about to thunderstorm or rain, and then it just goes away. I'm trying not to go there. I'm trying really hard not to go there because I don't want to have a controversial video over rigatoni. But I do believe in weather modification. And I think that Michigan this year, she got attacked. She's getting attacked. Well, I had to get a piece of bread anyways because I wanted to use the French bread for sauce. So yeah, like I said, I'm trying not to go there, but it's getting pretty obvious what they're doing. So Michigan is loaded with crops. We're a farm state. We have tons and tons of vegetation out in, the state of Michigan. Lots of farmers out here. You do the math. I'm just devastated. I'm sad for my generation. We didn't get what our parents got. We didn't get, I know that my mom and dad's generation, they did go through stuff. I mean, my mom and dad, when they were in their 30s and 40s, they went through, the Twin Towers and all that stuff, and that war that went on. I think that was the Afghanistan war, and then there was the Iraq war. There was the Oklahoma bombings. There was, they went through, that generation went through stuff. There was also, the Vietnam War. But economically, I think my generation has suffered. It is suffering. When you can't even buy a bag of apples from the grocery store for no cheaper than $5 to $6, and we live in the Apple state. The food is rotting on the shelves, but they won't lower the prices. They're throwing food in the garbage. I've seen it firsthand. I was at a store one time. I'm not going to name the store in case there's somebody on here that works at that place. I was watching when the workers pulling food off the shelves. Large bags of popcorn, chips, all kinds of stuff. You're just putting it in this plastic garbage can. And I looked at him and I said, "Are you throwing that in the garbage? All of that?" He goes, "Yeah, they make us." I said, "There's nothing wrong with that food." I said, "Why don't you donate it to a food pantry? Give it to a homeless shelter. Give it to a soup kitchen." No, we're not allowed to do that. We just throw it in the dumpster. So instead of lowering the price, make it more flashy. People to buy it because it's cheaper. Get it off the shelf. They're throwing it in the garbage. Like I said, my generation got screwed. We got completely screwed. And my generation, raising children, what a nightmare. You can't afford your children. Like, my kids miss out on so much. They miss out on so many events. So many things. Basic stuff. Because prices are so high. I went into Walmart about 3 or 4 days ago. I went in there to buy a bra. At first, I thought it was just me. I was like, okay, well, maybe it's because I don't really get out of the house that much anymore. Maybe this is just the way it is now, like, whatever. All the bras that I was looking at were, the cheapest one I saw was $10 to $12. The rest of them were $18 and over. I'm starting scratching my head because I know for a fact last year that my bras were about $7.99 to $9.99 each. I always buy them all the time. It's a certain brand that I buy, and that's what I usually go for. I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's just, you know, it is what it is now, whatever. I went online and I saw another girl. She was complaining. She's like, what the hell is going on with the prices of women's bras right now? Women's clothing and lingerie and bras. They're extremely expensive. Women's, all kinds of stuff, you know, are monthly. The products that we use, the prices are going up on that. Now it's getting to a point where you're not supposed to be a woman, I guess, apparently. It's sickening. It's getting rough. But the thing is with my generation, well, I guess I should say me, myself, personally. I was a poor kid growing up. I never had anything. My mom and dad, my dad was a, you know, blue collar worker. He, you know, worked factory jobs pretty much all the way from his 30s all the way until now. He's going on 69 years old and he's still working. So basically it was just me, my brother, and my mom pretty much my whole life. And my mom would, you know, scrape together dinners and lunches, and you know, we really never had an extravagant lifestyle. We never really, if we went on a vacation, it was basically like we went up to the beach up north, which was where I was living at that time when I was a kid. It was quite a hike to get to a nearest beach in the state of Michigan. So I had normal dinners. You know, when I got off the school bus, it was macaroni and cheese and hot dogs and pasta and things like that. I know what it feels like to get by. It's not a big thing to me. I've been doing it my whole, you know, pretty much my whole entire life. And now that I'm, you know, going on 40 years old, I'm still living a mediocre life. And it doesn't really affect me too much. It doesn't really affect my children too much. Because we've never had extravagant lifestyles. My kids don't have extravagant lifestyles. But it is hard when it comes to, like, you know, going to school, and it's time for them to get their school's clothes, and it's time for them to get their school shoes and things like that. It's just incredibly hard on average Joe families, you know, regular average families. And everything is just beyond expensive now. And so this summer, me and my kids have spent a lot of time at the water park, spent a lot of time at the beaches. I take them to nature trails and things like that. You know, the things my dad used to do with us when I was a kid. And I have some fond memories of, you know, spending time with my dad and going to the beach and stuff like that. It's not like it was a horrible time and it was boring. No, I had fun. I will say YouTube is a big thing with their generation. Electronics in general is a huge thing with that generation. I think they call them the alpha generation or something. I'm a millennial. We had electronics, but not like that. Our electronics were there for us to use when we wanted to. And most of the time we didn't use them. We'd be hanging out with our friends and stuff. And it makes it hard because that generation, they want all the new stuff. They want the new electronics. It's, you know, it's their jive. Us millennials are drowning. We're like, kid, go outside, ride your bike, go do this. Nah, that's boring. I don't even know why they even make bicycles for that generation now. They don't ride them. If you ever go to like Walmart or any of the stores and go in the bike section, loaded with kids' bikes because nobody's buying them because kids don't go outside anymore. I don't know what's up with this stealing crap. All that generation does is steal. I don't know what's up with that. It's this constant stealing. Taking bikes, taking yard toys, taking yard ornaments. What in the flip are you going to do with an ornament? I was coming home from work the other day. Or no, I was coming home from, wow, a habit of saying that. Coming home from the grocery store. I knew they were doing something fishy. I knew it because there was 3 boys, all their generation. They were messing around with a trash can. And as soon as I pulled up, they all looked at my truck and then they stopped. They're like, doo-doo-doo. You know, they kind of were like being weird. So once I drove past, they looked at my rearview mirror and they went right back to the trash can again. And then they took it and they chucked this trash can across this person's front yard. All of them take off running. I don't know what is wrong with this generation and destroying things. Like, we had no interest in that crap back then. Like, it basically was the only time that really ever happened with the millennials, I know, is like, it would be like Halloween night. We kind of would go crazy. But other than that, it's like, what's the point of messing around with a trash can or playing with yard ornaments or, you know, stealing? It doesn't make any sense and it's dumb. And it's like, that's boring. It's like, okay, go out and build a fort. Go ride your bike someplace. Go fish. Go do something. Why are you stealing trash cans? I don't know. And they're all our children. And I'm not trying to shoot down my own generation. I'm not trying to shoot down the millennials. But some of these parents are not being parents. They're not. It's not happening. I don't know what it is with my generation. I don't know if it's basically burnout because we are tired, we're exhausted, and we're tired of dealing with things and we miss our childhood. I think that my generation, our teenage years and our 20s went like that. Like, it was really, really fast. I don't even remember being 25. I don't remember being 16. I only remember bits and pieces of certain sections. And it's like, I just remember always being stressed out when I was in my 20s. And that will move things along quickly. And I just feel like my generation got robbed of our youth. We really got robbed of our youth. And I think that's why we're just burnt out. A lot of us parents are just burnt out. Some of us feel like we're 9 years old already. I'm going to be 40 in April. I'm 39 years old, and sometimes I feel like I'm 85. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. And when you can't even walk out your front door because of, as I'm speaking right now, there's a giant fly hanging out my front door. When you can't even walk out your front door because the Mother Nature is falling apart, it's like, I'm full. I made myself way too much. This video was stupid of me just ranting about nothing, but I wanted to make a mukbang because an eat with me show because I haven't done one in centuries. Like I said, the last one I did was back in March. It was either March or April. So yeah. Thank you for joining me. And if you're a millennial and you're burnt out, I feel you. we're all burnt out. We're all going through it. But that's the one thing about our generation for the millennials. We are very strong. We are very resilient. We're not dumb. We know how to survive. We've been through a lot, unfortunately, since the age of, like, it started when we were 12 or 13 years old. But we're tired. And if there's any Gen Zs or whatever going to get on here and be like, you guys don't know what tired is. Back then, the economy now is not the way it was in the 70s. It's not the way it was in the 60s. It's not the way it was in the 50s. You guys had your different problems. You had problems, but they weren't the problems that we have now. When your ground is being poisoned and things of that nature, that's a problem. Anyways, I'm going to end this. I just wanted to make a little mukbang, and I will speak to y'all again soon.